Welcome to What to Watch Live. I am your host, your friendly neighborhood gaming editor, Gordon. And I know Watchathon is behind us. I'm sure you're all exhausted. The last thing you want to do is talk about TV picks. Too bad, because we got a bunch more. There's so much. It never stops around here. And I'm very honored to have two close personal friends and wonderful editorial professionals to help me on this journey over the next 30, 45 minutes, whatever we end up doing. To kick it off, we're going to start with our music and kids editor. Every rose has a thorn. Rose, happy May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you, and beware of Revenge of the 6th.
The 6th?
Okay.
Or the 5th? Revenge of the 5th?
The 5th. Oh. Well, okay.
6 and 1. 6 and 1. One half dozen the other.
Pick a number that sounds like the Sith.
It all works out. All right. And also joining us, our LGBTQ editor, also our TV editor, Scotty Tuhati. Scotty, welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh, always an honor. Always a pleasure. Now, I know, normally we tend to have 4 editors, or weirdly, 7 editors. We only have 3. But you know what? The 3 Musketeers, the 3 Stooges, Charlie's Angels, they all made it work. So today, we are your Charlie's Angels of television. And we're going to kick it off with a little segment we like to call In the News. All right. So Marvel announced their new slate of movies, Phase 4, if you will, this week. And holy cow, there's like a million of them. Some new titles like Shang-Chi, The Eternals, and the Fantastic Four. But then a ton of sequels. We've got Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Thor, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy. So many. And don't get me wrong, I love all those movies, but so many sequels. So that got us thinking, what are some sequels that have been better than the original movie? I'm going to throw it to Rose first. Rose, what is a sequel that was better than the original?
I'm going to come at this with a different angle. Not really story-wise, but technology-wise, because technology has come so far along the years. And the first one that comes to mind would be Toy Story. Like Toy Story 1 to Toy Story, anything afterwards, completely different movie. And in terms of technology sense, yes, that was better than the first. And also gaming, like Street Fighter 2, that was so much better than the first. So, I mean, those are the two sequels that come to mind in terms of they were absolutely better than the first.
See, I'll give you Toy Story, and then Toy Story. Toy Story is great, and Toy Story 2 is amazing. Toy Story 3 is super amazing, and Toy Story 4 exists. But yeah,
exactly.
I'll definitely give
Rose,
you
you stole a bit of my thunder here, because Toy Story 3 was definitely mine. Like, Toy Story 2, great. We stand Jesse's storyline and that Sarah McLachlan song. Love, so good.
Stop.
Exactly, right? You're going to start crying right now. But like 15 years after the original, we got Toy Story 3, which deals with all of the basic Disney stuff, aging, loss, all that good. It was the first time ever, like I think in a Disney movie, where I actually felt like they were going to kill off the main characters. And I was like really shooketh. So well done, Disney. You legitimately made me feel bad about abandoning my own personal toys. So for that, you get best sequel.
No, but I mean, from a technology standpoint, that's where I was coming at. Definitely didn't want to steal your thunder, but from a story standpoint, I absolutely agree with you in terms of just making you feel bad about abandoning your toys. But just from technology, so to speak, like the grass was crisper. Like the features of people's faces were so much more distinguishable, and anything that has to deal with CGI, it was just better. But you really hit the nail on the head in terms of the storyline, how compelling it was, and how it made us all cry, and all that good stuff.
See, that tells you what
I'm very good with hammers.
That should tell you what a horrible human being I am. I've never once thought, there's like a pile of He-Man action figures out there that are miserable. There's a stack of Care Bears, that who knows ended up in a yard sale, however many years ago. So now I feel terrible about it. Thanks, Scott, for that. I had a couple things I thought were better. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, I like better than Terminator. I think I like Aliens better than Alien. If this show was 3 hours long, we could have a conversation about how Grease 2 is vastly superior to Grease. I will fight you. I will fight you if you disagree with me on that. Stephanie Zanoni.
I disagree with you.
No. Like the Nagarelli T-Birds are so much better than the Kanicki T-Birds. Like maybe this is a whole other show, maybe. But the one I kind of settled on was the what? We'll get okay. All right, let's go there. I was going to say The Dark Knight, but we're talking about Grease 2 now. The moral of Grease is you need to change to get a guy to like you.
Agree. It's very problematic, and I actually don't remember the plot for Grease 2, but I imagine it's very much in the same vein.
See,
no?
It's forgettable. It's forgettable. My point.
Unfortunately, Grease 2, it's the same thing, but this time the guy changes, so that makes it okay.
Oh, no, that makes it okay.
That makes it all right. Anyway, so The Dark Knight.
Mic drop.
Okay. Grease 2. But The Dark Knight, was the sequel to Batman Begins, and Batman Begins was like the 1 millionth origin story for Batman. How many times do I have to see the Waynes getting gunned down in an alley? I don't need to see that anymore. I don't need to see Uncle Ben getting killed to make Spider-Man feel bad. I don't need to see Superman growing up in Smallville ever again. Enough with those origin stories. So they had moved past that. And then Heath Ledger is my Joker. He was just so fantastic. Jack Nicholson was great. Mark Hamill does the voice for the video games and for the animated series. He's great too. Joaquin Phoenix was a really interesting Joker, but my Joker is a criminal mastermind and his was more of a psychopath. And then Jared Leto, he had a rough act to follow, so I give him a break. But Dark Knight, absolutely my favorite sequel that's better than the original. Any other thoughts? Anything we missed? Any more Grease 2 arguments to continue with?
I mean, that's to be continued offline, Gordon.
All right. So join us next week when for 2 hours we debate Grease versus Grease 2. All right. We'll leave that aside for now because it's time for a little segment we like to call Trending. All right. We're going to start this off by talking about April's biggest shows on X1. And we're going to start it off. We have the countdown ready. Do we have drum roll? Anybody? Nothing? Nobody? There we go. All right. We're going to start this off with number 5. Number 5 most watched show was Shameless. The Showtime dramedy, still very popular. At number 4, we have Godfather of Harlem, the Forrest Whitaker show. At 3, we have the Kevin Bacon crime drama, City on a Hill. Number 2, finally, we're getting to something a little less serious, Married at First Sight, which a popular reality show. And any guesses for what the number 1 show is? Any guesses?
I think I know.
Bueller, Fry. What do you got, Scott?
I'm going to go ahead and say, given that it was kind of brought back into the spotlight because of the anniversary, Game of Thrones. All
right, what do we got? Number 1 is Game of Thrones. All right, look at you. Are there no new shows for us to watch? What were you guys watching in April? Scott, what do you got?
For me, I fell real hard for Invincible on Prime Video. I'm not sure if you're watching, but it is basically an animated superhero show starring Steven Yeun and then also Sandra Oh as his mother. It's super gritty. It's very violent, kind of in the same vein as The Boys, which is also on Prime Video and a personal favorite. So definitely recommend that. It's kind of unexpected, and I really, really love it. It's still got new episodes coming out, so you can catch up before they come and just get into it because it's great, honestly.
All right. Rose, what are you watching?
So Mayor of Easttown, and it's typically not my genre. It's thriller, and being a mom, it's like sort of scary. My aesthetic distance is right there where I put myself in the position of the parent who may lose a child. I'm not giving it too much away, but I also wanted to watch it mainly at first because of Kate Winslet doing a Delco accent. And I stayed for the compelling storytelling, the outstanding performances, and spying Wawa coffee cups. So, I mean, her accent, I feel she should be, and I believe she has been getting praise for it. I mean, the Wooders, the O's, how she says home, and just she really gets it. She really gets it right. And I mean, I invite you to have a little fun with it and see if you can and catch that Delco accent. But you will want to stay because it's just an outstanding, well-directed, and compelling show.
Yeah, Did you know that the costume designer got inspiration for the characters' outfits from looking at people in Wawa's like waiting like lines, which is absolutely ridiculous, but makes perfect sense because it's a great place to people watch.
For those of you who don't live in Pennsylvania or on the East Coast, Wawa is a convenience store where they sell hoagies, and a hoagie is a sandwich. Is that all? Did I get all the? Sorry, honestly, Kate Winslet's accent is phenomenal. Sorry,
exactly.
I needed to drink a Wooder. The show I've been watching Chef Boot Camp, which Kayla recommended, and I'm loving, where a chef takes head chefs that are having issues at their restaurants and mentoring them and teaching them to be better chefs. Also, just under the wire, a new movie on Netflix called The Mitchells versus the Machines. If you haven't checked this out, it's an animated movie about a weird family that ends up having to fight a robot apocalypse. And it's one of those, I don't want to say Pixar-esque, but it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it hit all the right buttons. We just absolutely adored it. So again, that's The Mitchells versus the Machines on Netflix. Be sure to check out that movie. Anything else? Any other April hits we missed?
I think that wraps it up for me. I mean, there's so much to watch, honestly, but I feel like we touched on a few of the really good ones.
All right. Well, next up, Scott is going to lead us through some Real Housewives fun with a segment we call Expert Extras.
Expert Extras. Probably going to get sued for that, but it's fine. It's fine. It was totally worth it. So you guys know one of the coolest things about being an editor here is that we get screeners. So we're often able to watch content before the general public, which is just a really cool perk to the job. Sometimes we get stuff that we're really passionate about. Sometimes we get stuff that we're not so passionate about. I myself have not been a Real Housewives fan, but my partner is very, very big into it. So when these came across my desk, I, of course, let him know that I had them. And we kind of dove right into the premiere episodes of both New York City, Real Housewives of New York City, which premieres tonight on Bravo, as well as the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which premieres on May 19th. And it kind of got me thinking, these girls get up to some crazy antics, even in just the premiere episodes of these new seasons. And I wanted to kind of have a little game go on with us here where we throw back to some of the crazier moments in Real Housewives history and see if you two, who are also not Real Housewives fans, correct? Yeah. Okay, fair to say. I want to see if you can figure out the context of what's happening in these clips. So let's go ahead and throw to our first clip here.
Why are you believing Teddy over me? You believe that I told Sessa, Sessa told Blizzard, Blizzard and Sessa are lying, and that she would never have said that.
Ooh. Lisa Vanderpump coming with the receipts.
Literal.
With those receipts, who is are these actual people? Teddy, Blizzard? And Sessa?
There's a Blizzard?
I'm probably not the one to answer that. I do know that Teddy is a housewife. I know that Lisa Vanderpump is confronting Dorit because that is my partner's favorite housewife. But yeah, what do we think is in these text messages? I mean, yeah, Blizzard, there's dog names, there's weather movements.
Here's the thing. The reaction is so big. The reaction's so big, it'd have to be the nuclear codes are in. That's how the intensity. So it can't be some small issue.
Yeah,
but it's nuclear codes from Blizzard and Sessa.
Yes, clearly. I think Rose and I got this one. 10 points.
All right, 10 points for both of you. Perfect. All right. Okay, let's throw to the next clip.
Let me tell you something, Heather. The only thing.
Keep it together, Aviva.
The only thing that is artificial or fake about me. This. I'm sick of it.
Oh my!
That was her leg.
Oh,
That was her leg, right?
Yes, that is correct. That is Aviva from season 6 of New York City, actually taking her leg off and slamming it onto the counter. Any guesses as to why?
I know why.
About something artificial here, right? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Way. There is no way she did not have that speech in her head and was waiting for that opportunity. She's like, someday someone's going to call me fake, and I'm going to. She had that like ready to go. She didn't just think of that. That was, but I assume somebody like with that level of response, it had to be people kidnapped her children. That's the only thing that would warrant that level of rah.
Absolutely, right, I totally agree with you.
When I look at this, I know she's talking about not being fake, which I mean, Gordon, excellent point. She was waiting for this. But when she puts her leg and her foot on the table, it reminds me of a saying when like food is really, really, really good and someone's like, ooh, they put their foot in it. Like, that's all I think of when I hear that, like, I'm going to put my foot in it. This is how good it is.
Who says that? I've never heard of that saying.
When food is good?
When food is so good, they're like, ooh, somebody put their foot in it. I cannot be the only one. I know.
That's the opposite of what I would think of good food. I'd be like, this is really good. Nobody put their foot in it.
Yeah, they definitely didn't put a foot in this.
That's what I thought of the first time I heard it. But no, I was educated in school. They're like, no, it means it was so good that somebody put their foot in it. I can't explain why, but ever since somebody started to explain that to me, I kept hearing it over and over. Ooh, I wish we had a poll. Oh, we should have done this earlier. Like, who's heard of put your foot in it or not? But if I'm accurate or if I'm completely off base.
Is Rose making up
definitely
slang?
Something I'm Googling.
I think. Wow.
Yeah, this sounds like it's made up. All right. You guys ready for the next clip?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go to it.
You have a lot of nerve.
Don't talk to me like that.
Or what?
Seriously.
Or what?
Or nothing.
Right, exactly. Shut the up.
Erica.
Oof.
Or
Erica
what?
is mad. Or what?
Or what? Or what?
Nothing.
Oh my God.
The poor woman
So
she's like
why-
giving the business to.
Oh, so that's Sutton, and Sutton is probably deserving of it, from what I understand from my partner. But this is Erica Jane, who I think is fairly iconic in the queer community. But why do we think Erica and Sutton are fighting?
Scott, we need your partner here to explain this to us, to translate from Housewives
He
to
refused
English.
to help me last night as well. I'm like, you going to give me some context to these clips? And he was like, no.
I know.
Was he like,
Diet
or
Shasta?
what? Or
Exactly.
what, Scott? Wow. So I think that I have sympathy for this woman that's getting the business, but also, can I get a job being one of those people on the side that just makes faces, that's just like...
Exactly.
The best.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Is there like a show after Real Housewives, sort of like how The Walking Dead had The Talking Dead, where they just play the clips and it's like, here's what you need to know, and they just play these clips? I'd be for that.
I don't know if it's just like that, but Andy Cohen does it for pretty much all of the Bravo shows. It's what I can't.
What Happens Live?
Yes, exactly.
Watch What Happens Live. That's what it is.
There's a lot of similarities. Exactly. But yeah, he usually has some of the housewives on, or fans, and they talk about what happened in the episode. Same goes for Below Deck and all of those shows. So interesting stuff to see how they break it down afterwards. But yes, these girls get into serious fights, and it's often like, real time. It's not just fake or put on for the camera.
Oh man, I'm wondering if they've eaten.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they're mad. Get her a piece of bread, and maybe she'll calm down.
Or what?
Or what?
What?
Or
Amazing.
what?
Well, if these crazy clips haven't sold you on Housewives, I'm not sure what will. Again, a new season of Real Housewives of New York City premieres tonight on Bravo, and a new episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills premieres May 19th. But wait, there's more, guys. We've got a sneak peek of a yet-to-be greenlit pilot for the Real Housewives of Philadelphia. Let's check it out.
Oh, no.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, but I don't play.
If I seem shallow, that's because I am.
I'd watch
Nope. No.
I mean,
No.
I think we've outdone ourselves, guys.
I mean, we nailed it, right? Right? That's like
Yeah.
what they do.
I'm
Someday
surprised we
one of
haven't
us-
heard back from Bravo.
Yeah, someday one of us is going to want to run for office, and Real Housewives of Philadelphia is going to pop up. My original quote was, "I may be a gamer, player," and that's not the one they used. Oof. All right. Mother's Day is this Sunday, and we're going to talk about some ideas for moms, some great TV and movie moms when we do Editor's Picks. All right,
I
Rose,
have a fun fact.
start us off.
Yes. I've got a fun fact. I want to start us out with a fun fact about Mother's Day. So here's my fun fact. More phone calls happen on Mother's Day than any other day of the year. Approximately, actually, do you guys want to take a guess? How many phone
phone
calls? do you think
calls?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is this like around the
100
world?
million?
Oh, 122 million calls are
Not bad.
made.
$1, Bob.
Sunday.
One call. Or what?
Yeah, so that's my Mother's Day fun fact. And if you're looking for something to watch or listen to, we've got music that'll fit your mood. You can check out Moms in Music and jam out to all the moms who rock, like Beyonce or Gwen Stefani. And whether you're a mom in the traditional sense, or a plant mom, or fur baby mom, or a mom to yourself. I mean, I'm all about that self-care and nurturing. You have to nurture yourself. We have something for you. Me personally, here's what I'm going to watch on Mother's Day. Kardashians all day. I'm an only child, and I am fascinated by the family dynamics, with especially this family's dynamic. And let's not forget about the matriarch of the family too, Kris Jenner. I mean, I admit, this is a mindless watch. You can watch, I probably will watch it, fall asleep, watch it again. But, I just don't want to make any decisions that day. Again, this is self-care for this day for me. But I don't want to make any decisions that day. So I'm going to leave it to the Kardashians, to Kris Jenner, and we'll toss to a clip, find out why.
Mom. Where is Mom?
You guys are both grounded.
Oh my God. Okay, so you take this one out. Show me where.
I worked really hard and I
know you do,
bought
honey,
these,
and
this
that's
was
why
supposed
you
to-
bought insurance.
I'm doing.
Mom,
What are you doing? Walkie-talkie, walkie-talkie.
Oh, this is giving me life.
It's fun, right? So that's my pick. And now I'm going to toss it to Gordon.
All right. So I had some thoughts about my favorite moms. And we're going to lead off with my favorite TV mom, and that's Beth Pearson from This Is Us. We have a little clip that we'd like to run, and then we're going to talk about her.
You ready to do this?
Last one up the steps is buying cheesesteaks.
Go!
We love you. No matter what, okay? Baby, together we set the world on fire.
All right. So I am a day one This Is Us guy. And I got to tell you, I get annoyed with every Pearson every other episode. Somebody does something annoying or crazy, and then I'm like, why driving me insane, except for Beth. Beth is awesome. She's always there for her kids. When Randall has all the things he's going through, and there's so much because the show is so dramatic, she is amazing. She's his rock. Every time she never disappoints. She is easily my favorite character on the show. Love me some Beth. I'm a Beth guy. Also wanted to talk about my favorite stepmom. Now I know Overboard has a very problematic plot. But something that is not problematic is the way Joanna Staten, if you're not familiar with the movie, she's a rich woman who falls out of a boat, loses consciousness, and a guy has amnesia, and a guy, Dean, brings her home to be a mother to his children. Very problematic. But she's such a good stepmom for these boys that are so troubled. The Gruesome Ghouls is their nickname. She teaches the one to read. She encourages the other one. She stands up for them in front of teachers. And when it's all said and done, when there's a happy ending, and maybe there shouldn't be based on how weird the plot is, she wants a little girl. So she's my favorite stepmom. And then finally, Mother's Day isn't just for mothers. It's for people who fill a motherly role. And in this instance, I went with Mrs. Garrett. She originally started with Different Strokes, taking care of Arnold and Willis and Kimberly, I believe. And then getting her own spinoff, The Facts of Life, with a whole variety of different girls that she was a mother to there. Always had words of wisdom, always there for them. So Mrs. Garrett is my favorite person filling a motherly role. All right, Scott, what do you got?
So I kind of want to echo that sentiment of, an unconventional mother. I don't think we can really talk about that without talking a little bit about Ballroom. So Ballroom, for those who aren't familiar, is an LGBTQ subculture that originated in New York City, where people walk, dance, vogue, pose at events called balls, and they compete to try and win trophies and prizes. But Ballroom is sort of the culture, it extends beyond these events, as many of these folks, they belong to what are called houses. And houses are essentially these chosen families that sometimes live together, sometimes not. And all of these houses are run by oftentimes mothers and sometimes fathers who offer guidance and support for their children. To this day, many young LGBTQ kids are not accepted by their biological families, and are sometimes put in dangerous situations. So these chosen families really help provide them with the love and support and a sense of community that they all really need. And I think that everyone deserves. So this Mother's Day, I would like to celebrate house mothers. And you can do that and learn a little bit more about house mothers by watching Pose on FX, which just premiered a new season this past Sunday, and Legendary on HBO Max, which I know Gordon started watching, and we'll talk to a little bit after this clip.
I'm a house mother. I provide a support system for my children and housing if you need it. Together we compete in the balls uptown. Take my address. Come if you feel it's right for you. If nothing else, tonight you got an education. All of my children are required to pursue an education. My house has rules and I expect you both to follow.
We've accepted our fall class. We are full.
No, but he is special. When was the last time you were truly surprised by something in your life?
Who are you again?
I'm his mother.
MJ Rodriguez is everything in Pose. So definitely take a look at the new season. Gordon, now I want to talk to you a little bit about Legendary. I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, so I love people getting to be creative. And that's just this show in spades, where they have these different houses that come together to put on these performances that are half like fashion walking, half dancing, all amazing. I'm 1.5 episodes into it, so do not send me spoilers. I'm a House of Gucci guy. If they go at the end of episode 2, I'm going to be really upset. But yeah, it's just like I found it really fascinating. And I think I would be a good face guy, because one of the things they do, the different walks, like the one they have to like whip their hair around, stuff like that. And one is just like have like a cool face. So I'm thinking if I slim down, like maybe drop like 20 pounds, I do like a really good like eyebrow. Like that? I could
yes.
Be like, So
you do that with your eyebrow.
I'm not ambidextrous. I can't do it with both, but I can do it with the one. If we start a House of Xfinity, that's my role. I'm the face guy. I'm calling it right now.
Amazing. I call realness. All right.
All right.
Perfect.
So much fun. All right. So all you mothers out there, have a wonderful Mother's Day. And just to get you ready for what's going on in the next week or so, it's time for us to plan ahead. All right. Scott is going to talk. Scott's going to. Oh, I'm sorry. Scott's going to talk us through this week's big premieres.
Yes. So it is fair to say that the best thing about Xfinity is that you can watch the best content from all your services in one place. But with so much content, it's kind of hard to know where to start. So we've got you covered. This week on Plan Ahead, we say hello and goodbye to a Hulu favorite. 90s power or girl power nostalgia is all around you. Plus, we've got a variety of variety shows to keep things varied. It's a jam-packed week of premieres, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Up first is Star Wars: The Bad Batch on Disney Plus, which premieres today, May 4th. Both a sequel and a spin-off of the Clone Wars, the series follows a squad of elite clones with genetic mutations. Fun fact, D. Bradley Baker of Airbender, American Dad, and SpongeBob fame actually voices all of the clone troopers, which, now that I think about it, makes sense since they're all clones, right? Today also marks the drop of part 2 of Selena the series on Netflix. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the series follows the iconic Mexican-American performer Selena on her rise to fame. Part 1 focused on young Selena as she transitioned into adulthood. Part 2 is said to chronicle the years of hard work and sacrifice her family navigates as she becomes the most successful female Latin artist of all time. It's like iconic. Keeping with the music theme, the hilarious Tina Fey produced series Girls 5 Eva is coming to Peacock on May 6th, headlined by Sarah Bareilles, Renee Elise Goldsberry, Paula Pell, and Busy Phillips as 4/5 of the now defunct 90s girl group. The ladies get an unexpected chance at a comeback when their old song is sampled by an up-and-coming rapper. While the comedy can be a touch campy at times, even for me, the surprisingly catchy songs will definitely have you hooked. Coming to HBO Max on May 6th is That Damn Michael Shea. And yes, that's the name of the show. The 6-episode original comedy series stars, in case you didn't guess it, Michael Shea of SNL fame. The sketches and vignettes also feature a slew of big-name guest stars such as Method Man, Cecily Strong, Colin Jost, and Billy Porter, of all people, which is amazing. And then on Friday, Hulu bids farewell to its original comedy series Shrill, starring yet another SNL fave, Aidy Bryant. All 6 episodes of the show's 3rd and final season will drop on May 7th. When asked about the series coming to an end, Aidy told Deadline that she is incredibly proud of the way the series final wraps up and super grateful to the fans who connected with this story. And then on Sunday, May 9th, comedian and internet sensation Z-Way graces Showtime with a fresh take on the traditional variety show. And in true form, Z-Way pulls no punches, challenging America's discomfort with race, politics, and other cultural issues with a mix of musical numbers, interviews, and sketches that serve as a heaping spoonful of sugar for some much-needed medicine. And that's what I've got for premieres. I feel like that was a mouthful, and I got through it.
That's great.
How do we feel about it?
I think the shows look good, and I think you put your foot in it. Is that right?
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So it's not only premieres, but all good things must come to an end, and so too must a couple of shows coming to an end this week. We're going to start off with tonight on NBC. The comedy series Young Rock is having its season finale. This show is fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. It's a look at 3 eras of The Rock's life: when he was a little boy growing up in Hawaii, when he was a teenager in Bethlehem, PA, and when he was a young adult at the University of Miami. Really great, funny show. Look at The Rock's life. That will be on NBC tonight. And don't worry if you've enjoyed it, because it has been picked up for a 2nd season. Also, the reunion special of The Challenge Double Agents. That's this Wednesday on MTV. It's the 36th season. This one had all kinds of crazy twists and turns and explosions, not literally. All kinds of reality stars from the real world, Survivor, WWE, NXT were there. So that's finally going to be wrapping up. Again, that's this Wednesday on MTV. Also, this Sunday on the Hallmark Channel is the season 8 finale of When Calls the Heart. All season, we've been wondering, is Elizabeth going to decide between Nathan and Lucas? I have it on good authority. We will actually get an answer. So if this is something you have been watching, good news, because you're going to get finally some closure. Actually, probably not. Knowing how these shows work, it'll probably open up a whole new can of worms. And then finally, this Sunday on Stars, the season 1 of The Gloaming comes to an end. Molly has, the police officer had to team up with Alex, a man she hasn't talked to in 20 years, to try to solve a murder of an unidentified woman. Really good, moody stuff. If you're into Mare of Eastwood, you might want to give this one a shot too. And if you've enjoyed it, don't worry, because I understand season 2 is under development as well. That's what we got, folks. Before we head out, what I want you to do is take your Xfinity voice remote. You can vote for what you'd like to see more of next week. Would you like to see lifestyle, sports, gaming, kids shows? Vote and let us know. Guys, like I said, I think we put our foot in this show. I think we did the Charlie's Angels, the Three Stooges, the Three Musketeers. We did a fantastic job. You guys are great. Thank you so much for joining us. For the cast and crew of What to Watch Live, thank you so much for joining us, and have an awesome week.